Your story is very interesting, and I say that when you make that transition from coming from, the Bay to the Bay, of course, Florida. Um, how do we get to that transition? How do we get there?
I mean, to be honest, so you can hear about adolescence, PJ, you know what I'm saying? I was hard-headed, like I said before. My mom and my stepdad ended up kicking me out the house. Luckily I was working, I stayed working a lot. And I ended up having a little money, so I ended up making my
Now, was it because of the lifestyle that you was in at that time, where you was kind of really experimenting? Now you were really out there, if you will. Right?
I mean, yeah, I was out there, but I was working a real job at the same time.
Okay.
I always gotta have a real job, something promising.
What was your profession?
I worked in construction a lot. But in California, I worked at Tesla. It was the best job I've ever had.
Wow.
12 hours, 12
I know
hours
the
a
pay
day.
was off.
12 hours a day. 12 hours a day. Yes, sir. That was the best job I ever had.
12 hours a day?
Yup.
What the fuck?
It's one of your employees, Elon.
Shit.
Yeah. That was
Taking
the best
off.
job. The most, because it taught me, and they were very punctual on time. Before I told you I was horrible with everything. So working at that job, man, if you really want to work at that job and get that good pay, you're not gonna be on time, but you're gonna be early.
How much you was getting paid an hour?
A lot.
That's
Nothing about this bay, but that bay, California, you're gonna get paid good. But the cost of living, I would say, is higher out there than it is out here. So that's a fair exchange.
Oh, okay, I can get that. So you're working these long hours. What was the type of arguments you was having with your mom? Like what type of arguments that kind of led to you being kicked out?
I would say the number one thing was she used to always tell me my house is not a hotel. Because I would go and I would party and I would work and I'd come home anytime in and out of the house. Mind you, she had a whole alarm system. So you ain't sneaking in. I don't care which window you in. It's a two-story house. You don't want to just choose a window. Ain't no balcony or nothing like that. I tried to choose a side garage door, try to have the thing open the whole night. Still didn't work. I remember coming home one time. My mom was sitting in the front, just waiting on me. She really just waiting on me. Then they just had enough of it because, I still wasn't learning. I still,
My mom ain't no joke.
She's not.
Cousin.
My mother
Cousin
is no
Bob.
joke. She is no joke. She had enough of it. And so I ended up, having a plane ticket to Florida. And I came to Florida. At first, I was staying at Airbnbs. Mind you, I'm still a little lost, not knowing, trying to find employment, still keeping it going, you know what I'm saying? So then I ended up calling my cousin. No, I ended up calling my brother first. I ended up calling my big brother first.
Big Pretty.
Ended up calling him first. And I asked him basically I know you're in Florida, can I come stay with you? And he told me straight the fuck up. He said no. Based off of his religion, it don't mix with my lifestyle. And if he would have had my lifestyle in his house, he would be like sinning, you know what I'm saying?
So he's Christian?
No.
Her brother is,
No.
for those, her
He's
brother
a-
is Justin Willis, UFC fighter, Big Pretty. If you look him up, you'll see exactly how
Blood of a
he's
champion is what we dealing with,
I don't
Poussey.
really like to get
Blood
into
of a
other
champion.
people's religion and stuff, so I'm gonna keep that private, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it's me
Well,
saying it, and I've
little
never
big
introduced
cuz.
my big brother. It's the first time I'm introducing my big brother, so anything dealing with his religious, his politics, everything
So
like
he's your
that.
real blood brother?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
same mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So that's a little big cuz right there, Big Pretty.
But yeah,
That's heavy.
I ended up calling him, and he told me no. And I ended up calling my cousin. Mind you, that day, it wasn't just, I don't know what made me call
So
him.
hold on. Let's stop right there. So during that time frame, what made you reach out to your brother first? Was it more like you felt confident in him just saying yes? Like, was that your first option? Like, what made you go to him? Like, because you don't necessarily you don't really speak about him, you don't really talk about him. So not saying that y'all don't have that kind of relationship or anything like that, but what made you reach out to him first?
I mean, first things first, I was raised around my big brother, you know what I'm saying? So he's a real good role model, a good person you would want to look up to. You know what I'm saying? Like, he taught me a lot of things. He even taught me how to fight. He taught me how to, get in the ring. I'm telling you, like, he made sure I was right. But in a lot of things, he really did teach me a lot of things that I never knew. You know what I'm saying? So I followed him, and I was just like, you my big brother. Why would I go to somebody else besides somebody that I was raised around, who taught me a lot of things that I still apply to this day?
Okay, so you reach out to him, but he tells you no. Now at that point, what's happening then? Like, what's going through your mind? Because you thought this was going to be a guarantee, right?
Definitely. I definitely felt entitled and thought that he'd just take me in with open arms. Mind you, I'm already grown, you know what I'm saying? We grown now, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of hurt me, maybe based off my entitlement, but I ended up swallowing my pride, and I had to sit back, take everything in, and see, like, man, this is your life. You grown. What you about to do? You know what I'm saying? So luckily, I was already texting my cousin too, and I found out he was in Florida. But the same day I called him, I didn't know about this, you know what I'm saying? But he ended up losing a good brother, you know what I'm saying? Be ready. Mind you, it's my cousin, his little brother's birthday, my great-great-grandmother's birthday, you know what I'm saying? She passed, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot going on that one day that I'm not even knowing about. And that's actually the first time that I actually set foot on the City Beautiful filming. So everything happened just like this, based off of that one call. Wow. I didn't know what he had going on the, on the other backside about it. I didn't know none of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, and he didn't know that, I'm just out here, just got kicked out and everything, you know what I'm saying? He didn't know none of that either. Then I really just was like asking him straight up. At first I was just staying over. But when like a little family member, they pulling that shit, you end up just staying with the nigga, but you end up talking to him, then you get the rules and regulations, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what happened. Like, really though. Like, hold on, nigga, you brought all your shit here. Like, you still staying here type shit? And then, I was just put on a sweet little face. And he was like, come on, we gotta talk. I said, oh shit. Mind you, shout out to my auntie Andrea too. She was here. She was one of the persons that she vouched for me staying here too. And she was just like, that's my niece. It's your house, but that's my niece. You know what I'm saying? So, and she kept us all close, especially Rambo. She kept us close. He was the bigger cousin. He's the bigger cousin. His little brother, that's the one, who super close and talk to all the time.
That right quick. Her and my little brother are closer, and they're actually the same age. They grew up closer together. Me and her big brother, he's a couple years younger than me, but we grew up closer. Okay. So her big brother, me and him was closer. Her and my little brother are closer, but her mama is my first cousin. That's one of my first cousins. Cousin Bud, she a twin too, and she's a twin. So this is
multiplicity. Multiplicity.
Yeah, this is a whole, when I say it's family, like I really mean it. This is a family organization. Like, this is family. Everything that we do is like, we refer to the top and then we put it out. Because we got to represent us right. So we make sure that everything we do is representative of our people in the right way. Because they could be out and you don't want to be Poussey cousin, but Poussey doing bull. Or Boss Hippie cousin, he doing bull. You want to be proud of it.
Right.
But yeah.
Nah, I fuck with it. That's fucking dope. And who would have thought all of that shit was happening on one day? Like, who would have thought?
Nobody. Like, that's some shit that needs to really be in a movie or something. Because on both ends,
it's City Beautiful.
On both ends,
if you see it at the end, the day when all of that happened, he's filming his brother at my house in the movie while she's calling. All of that is at the end of City Beautiful movie.
Wow.
Not saying too much.
Look, you know what? No, we can actually talk. You want to let's get into that. So you're an actor as well.
Yes. Actress P.
Look, so like I said, there was a lot of things that transpired on that day. I imagine that it was kind of shocking for you to kind of have all that happen at once. Granted, when shit like that happens, it's from God. A higher entity is involved and is going through that time frame. When you're making this travel, You doing this by yourself? You traveling alone?
Yeah, alone. And you have nobody with me.
So when you're making this transition, you don't have anybody with you to kind of hold your hand through this shit. This is you being able to kind of do all of this shit on your own. This is your first time doing this, mind you, right?
You know, have friends, come along with me. People that still, fuck with me still to this day. Shout out to you. You know who you are. But yeah.
For sure. Okay, so now you get into this movie. Things are starting to come rapidly at this point because now you starting to integrate a support system at this point. Like they welcome you with open arms. Your big cousin lets you stay. You got the studio. Like everything that you need is at your fingertips. You even got the encouragement from the people around you. You even start practicing on your craft. You start getting better with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you really start taking this shit serious. Now with developing a team, there's always role players. And I know in the beginning we kind of alluded and we introduced everybody, but I realized, when I asked you, did you do this alone? You don't have to do it alone anymore because now you got a support system. And the person to the left of you, they're almost like your day-to-day support system. Like this is what you need to just get through the day. Talk a little bit about the relationship that you got with Miss Margaret and how did that even come about? Like how did that even happen? Like because that's a lot to deal with. That's a lot to deal with.
It was, but no. when I first met her, I met her on a music scene first of all. She was out, supporting people's movements, networking herself. You know what I'm saying? Because her background is very dangerous. Mm-hmm. It's very dangerous. I'm gonna let her tell you. But her background very dangerous. But anyways, I seen her at the show before. We kind of talked, but we didn't really talk that much. And then I think it's when we had the show in Orlando. It was when we had the little VIP section in the back. We had the bottles. Because I like to say turned up and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We had the vibes, and it was Liddy in that bitch. And then after that, we kind of just connected. And then we end up talking, and then I end up finding out her background, what she gonna tell y'all. And then my cousin, he kind of seen her in the same, same position. Like, so me, I'm just the artist. I'm nosy on the business end, but there's certain things that my team is here to help me with, and I don't even gotta touch or worry about. You know what I'm saying? They get it done. And as far as me getting to a show, as far as the wardrobe getting checked, even for the interview you gave me, she made sure the wardrobe was checked, made sure I had everything, anything, if I need anything on the side, she gonna make sure it's there. Even my clothes still to the day, iron. Just, I'm trying to tell you, see, that's day to day.
That's right.
Really took me in.
Yeah, real MVP.
For real. She's not only just like a manager, like a real role manager, like one person who just take you in and really take care of you. Gonna make sure you eat. Gonna make sure you eat. And make sure you right, you know what I'm saying? And you doing what you gotta do, and you taking your vitamins. That's crazy, because I'm grown, and now I take vitamins every day.
No, but but health is wealth. Don't get it fucked up.
Right.
Health is wealth.
All day, every day.
You're not getting no younger, but to kind of give a little texture to what she's speaking about, Miss Margaret, you care to elaborate? Kind of give me your story and an introduction to how you met Poussey.
Yes, like she said, we met at a show, and I support. If I believe in you, I'm going to support you, 100%, 200%. So I was out supporting a few artists that I knew when I met her, and right off the bat, I could tell she was good people. She was very, very humble, and I think that's very important, especially in this industry, because you have a lot of people that I call them one-hit wonders because they're very cocky,
right,
and that causes other issues. But she is very, very humble. And you just took it from there. And I told her anytime she needs something, call me. I'm there for her, and that's exactly what happened.
What would you say your biggest challenge is with managing Poussey?
There's no challenge.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Boy, there's a whole lot of hustle man shit up in here going on.
If that's the case, you must be extremely on top of your shit. Or just for the interviews, you trying to shift some beds. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you some in reference. I'll give you some in reference. So before I have any show or before I have anything, like I feel like if you really love somebody shouldn't have to tell you to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She catching me sometimes 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Practicing. Sometimes I'm like, damn, am I being too loud? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But she be like, make sure you got this straight and make sure you got this correct. And then I practice in front of her. That is my audience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta practice in front of your manager. Like, come on now.
Right.
And then she be like, okay, you need to focus on it, focus on this. Oh, your voice is hoarse? Okay, got some cough drops. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. That's and that can be a job within itself.
I think I am
Dealing with Poussey.
I'm very high maintenance, bro. I'm fake bougie. I'm from the hood, but we ain't, you know what I'm saying? You gotta update the prime rib and shit like that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So it really just, I feel like if you work, you can't want something better than somebody else do, you know what I'm saying? So I think I showed them and I proved to them that I'm still working behind everything, and I want to make sure everything is not perfect, but it's set up above everybody's standards. If you want something from me, I'm gonna go above that.
Definitely understandable. Now, when you get this manager, typically they say you only need a manager when you have something to manage. What is it that she's managing?
My career, my rap style, real lifestyle too. Not only does she help me in the music, she helps me in real life. You know what I'm saying?
Like
she's
a life coach.
Like literally,
that's good.
like literally. I'm talking about hands on. You know what I'm saying? I'm still new to this, so you have to mold something into something that you want to stick with. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm becoming this and I'm becoming that. I am Poussey, and I'm gonna stay this way. But I want to be the best Poussey I could be.